Breaking news out of Virginia Beach involving a number of investigations involving police officers. We're going to start with the most recent. The Commonwealth's attorney just decided the officers involved did nothing wrong criminally in this incident. We first showed you this video earlier this month from the oceanfront that landed the 3 officers on administrative duty.
It shows officers arresting 27-year-old Devondre McIntyre after he was kicked out of a club. McIntyre admitted he ran from police before being placed into custody. 10 Your Side's Jason Marks has been following this story closely. Jason.
Nicole, this incident at the oceanfront has caused major waves in the department. The Commonwealth's attorney reviewed the information and decided that the officers did nothing wrong criminally. Now, the Commonwealth's attorney says McIntyre did not comply to repeated requests to display his hands and was verbally and physically combative with the officers during his arrest. Now, let me give you a little bit of background here. 3 officers were at the oceanfront when McIntyre allegedly punched a bouncer. The officers tried to arrest the man, and that's when he ran. At one point, he was actually tased, but it had no effect. When officers did catch up to him, the use of force was called into question. Chief Jim Severa put 3 officers on administrative duty and opened up a criminal investigation in the case. That is very rare. The chief told me this is the first time a criminal investigation was opened up in the history of the department for standard use of force. Now, there are criminal investigations opened up for all deadly shootings, but this was the first time for standard force. Now, that did not sit well with other officers. In fact, they felt as if the chief turned his back on those officers. Officers responded by having a silent protest where they only answered calls they are dispatched to. The chief told me he put the officers on administrative duty so he can sort through all the facts in the case. Severa also told me he plans to meet with all the training officers to make sure procedures are being followed properly. Officers say right now they are scared to use their training because they feel as if they do, they could risk themselves being put on administrative duty. Now, I just spoke with the president of the Virginia Beach Police Benevolent Association, who tells me the association was always confident that the officers acted correctly. We are grateful to the Commonwealth's attorney for not allowing politics to enter in a decision and standing up for our officers and ultimately all law enforcement everywhere. Now, we'll have to see how this decision impacts the mood for the rest of the department. Of course, we'll keep on top of it. In the newsroom, Jason Marks, 10 on your side.
Now to the other incidents involving Virginia Beach officers that happened on 3 Fridays in May. We'll start with the officer cleared in connection with the shooting May 15th near the intersection of Newtown and Baker Roads. An officer exchanged gunfire with Luis Fernando Vasquez. Police say he and a minor robbed 2 women on Wesleyan Drive, then held a hostage at the Boost Mobile store on Newtown Road. Tonight, that officer has been cleared of any wrongdoing.
And 2 officers were involved in a shooting the week before on Baccalaureate Drive. Beach police say that James White killed his wife and injured another man in the incident. Gunfire was exchanged between White and police. The 2 officers have been on administrative duty, and we just learned those officers will not face any criminal charges.
And you may remember a gun battle in Virginia Beach on May 1st involving police. 5 officers opened fire on King Henry Court. That was after police say Christopher Cody Smith fired at them. Smith is also accused of choking his wife and shooting his best friend. No one died that night. Police Chief Jim Cervera commended his officers for that. We'll have that for you tonight on WAVY News 10 at 11.